In this video, I will show you how to use the special properties of angle pairs to find unknown values. In addition to talking about things like congruent, complementary, and supplementary, specifically, we will be looking at these 6 angle pairs: linear pair, vertical angles, alternate exterior angles, alternate interior angles, consecutive interior angles, and corresponding angles. So first of all, a little bit of vocabulary. If angles are congruent, it means they have the same measure. So if one angle is 71 degrees, then the other angle will also be 71 degrees. That's what it means to be congruent. Complementary means they add up to 90 degrees. All right, so that means in order to add up to 90, I think we're going to need an extra 19 degrees. But what I'm really doing is I'm doing 90 minus 71. And then you get 19, so these would add up to 90 degrees. Supplementary, of course, means that the two angles add to 180 degrees. So I'm going to subtract from 180. And of course, I'm going to get 109 degrees. Okay, problem number 2. Blank and blank are each right angles. All right, so we're looking for 90 degrees, and I see the little box right here that tells me that this angle is 90 degrees. So that's angle AFB, for example. Angle AFB. I could have said angle BFA if I wanted to. But that automatically means that the adjacent angle, BFD, is also a 90-degree angle. So angle BFD is also 90 degrees because if it's perpendicular, it's perpendicular. Now, let me clean that up for a second. Angle CFD. What is up with angle CFD? Okay, here is angle CFD. And what are supplementary? So I'm looking for a linear pair. If it's going to be supplementary, it should be making a straight line with this. All right, so one way I could make a straight line is to put it back to back with this green angle right here. This is a linear pair. See how they make a straight line. So one possible answer would be angle AFC. Okay, let's see how I squeeze these in here. Angle AFC. But there's another possible answer. Okay, what if I made the straight line this way? All right, can you see that that is also a linear pair? They make a straight line back to back. So I could say, or angle EFD. Okay. All right, so let me clean that up for a second. Angle EFB, well, let's get that nailed down first of all. Here's angle EFB, and blank form a linear pair. So again, I'm looking for a straight line. So I really need to continue one of the two sides that I already have. And the only one I see that continues onto an existing line is this one right here. So if I make the other side of the angle so that it's back to back with the original angle, then I have angle BFC. All right, this is a linear pair because they make a straight line. All right, and they are adjacent. So angle BFC. Okay, angle AFE. All right, here's angle AFE. And what are vertical angles? Well, vertical angles sort of make an X. So I'm just going to continue this side, and I'm going to continue this side. So these two angles are vertical angles. So CFD. Angle CFD. Angle EFD. And what are vertical angles? All right, I'm looking for the X again, so I need to continue both of these lines. So if I take this line and continue it, and if I take this line over here and just continue it, then I get the X that makes vertical angles, but the red angle is angle AFC. Okay, problem number 2. All right, put each angle pair from the list into one of the categories below. All right, none of these special angle pairs that we have learned about are complementary. The short list is the list of supplementary. There are only 2 angle pairs that are supplementary. So if you memorize those, then you can put the rest as congruent. And one of those is linear pair, which will obviously be supplementary because they make a straight line. But then the other pair is called consecutive interior angles, and the lines have to be parallel. So let's see, consecutive interior angles. Okay, the other 4 are congruent. Okay, vertical angles. Now I'm going to have to start abbreviating for these to fit. Alternate exterior angles. Alternate interior angles. And corresponding angles. All right, but the real lesson here is there are only 2 angle pairs that are supplementary. So memorize these. Linear pair is supplementary, and consecutive interior angles are supplementary. So this is a linear pair, so you know it will be supplementary. That means they need to add up to 180 degrees, which means I will have 2x plus 25 plus 3x should equal 180. Now, of course, 2x and 3x are like terms. So I'm going to go ahead and put those together and get 5x, bring down the 25, equals 180. Got to get the x by itself, so we would subtract 25 from both sides. That's going to leave 5x equals, if I do 180 minus 25, that's 155. And then finally divide both sides by 5 to get x by itself. 31. So x is 31. Next, we need to find each angle measure. So probably the easiest one is to find the obtuse angle here where the 3x is. So that's just 3 times 31. I feel like I should put this off to the side. So I see the 3x, so I'm going to do 3 times 31, and that's how I'm going to get this right there. So that's 93. Okay, which means that the other side has to be supplementary. I mean, I could plug in, maybe I will. So if I'm confident about the 93, I can really just do 93, I can do 180 minus 93. Okay, so 87. Or I could plug in 31 and I could do 2 times 31 plus 25, and that should also give me 87. So it's a way of checking your answer. All right, because you should get the same thing twice, so you can really use that to check your answer. Now, the next one, these two angles are nestled inside of a 90-degree angle. We see the right angle to the left. That means there is a right angle to the right. So these two have to add up to 90. So that means that 4x plus 6x minus 20 must equal 90 degrees. Combining these like terms right here will give me 10x minus 20 is equal to 90. And then once I add the 20 to both sides, that's going to give me 10x is equal to 110. And then if I divide both sides by 10, that's going to give me x equals 11. All right, so x equals 11. If I substitute in 11 for x right here, that's 4 times 11, so that's going to be 44 degrees. So one angle is 44 degrees, and they have to add up to 90. So that means this angle over here has to be 46 degrees. All right, or I could have substituted 11 in right here if I wanted to. Okay, but clearly 90 minus 44 is 46. All right, well, these are vertical angles, so you know they're going to just straight up be equal to each other. So that means 5x minus 10 should equal x plus 30. So to solve this, I see the variable on both sides of the equation. So I will subtract those. That will make 4x minus 10 is equal to 30. And then I can add 10 to both sides. So that'll give me 4x equals 40. And then when I divide both sides by 4, I get x is equal to 10. So imagine that I substitute 10 in right here. That gives me 10 plus 30, which is 40. And these are congruent, so I know this is also going to be 40. Okay. This is another linear pair. So I know that these have to be supplementary. All right, you see that they are a linear pair because of the way they make a straight line. Well, you know what? I guess we haven't, I said another. Yeah, we had a linear pair for A. So this is another linear pair. So these have to add up to 180. So I'm going to say 4x minus 10 plus 2x plus 28 must equal 180. So let's combine like terms. The 4x and the 2x are like terms, and then the negative 10 and the 28 are like terms. So if I combine those, I'm going to get 6x plus 18 is equal to 180. Then you subtract 18 from both sides, and you get 6x equals 162. Then it's time to divide both sides by 6. And you get 27. So x is 27. All right, so I am going to substitute 27 in for x right there and see what I get. So that's going to be 2 times 27 plus 28. And that is 82. All right, so one angle is going to be 82 degrees. But these have to be supplementary, so the other angle must be 98 degrees. So they will add up to 180. And again, I'm just doing 180 minus 82. Okay, obviously I could have substituted 27 in for x, and that should also give me 98. And in fact, that's a way you could check your answer. All right, so here's that list of 6 angle pairs again. Okay, so we're just going to name each angle pair, and that is all. So let's see, angles like 1 and 7. All right, those are vertical angles because you can see that they are directly across from each other. That makes them vertical angles. I think I'll do these all in one color. Okay. Okay, now how about angles like 2 and 6? These are alternate interior angles. They're interior because they're between the lines, alternate because they're on opposite sides of the transversal. So these are alternate interior angles. Okay, 3 and 2. All right, 3 and 2 are right here. Well, these are going to be consecutive interior angles, also known as same side interior angles. They are interior because they are between the lines, and they are consecutive because they are on the same side of the transversal. So consecutive interior angles. All right, 4 and 8. All right, 4 and 8 are alternate exterior angles. They're exterior because they are not between the lines, and they are alternate because they are on opposite sides of the transversal. So alternate exterior angles. Okay, angle 5 and angle 7. Okay, these are corresponding angles. I'm just going to take one extra second to talk about what corresponding angles are. Corresponding angles are angles that are in the same position. So see how this angle is in the top left, and this angle is in the top left. So those are corresponding. Angle 8 is in the top right. Angle 6 is in the top right. So those are corresponding. All right, angle 7 is in the bottom right. Angle 5 is in the bottom right. So 7 and 5 are corresponding. Angle 2 is in the bottom left, and angle 4 is in the bottom left. So those are corresponding. So that's how corresponding angles work. All right, angles that are in the same position. Okay, so how about angle 6 and 3? Well, angle 6 and 3 are a linear pair. They're side by side, making the straight line. That makes them a linear pair. Okay, now remember that 2 of these are supplementary and the rest are congruent. Well, if the lines are parallel, 2 of these are supplementary and the rest are congruent. So memorize the 2 that are supplementary. First of all, linear pairs are supplementary. They're always supplementary. They make 180. But also consecutive interior angles. All right, if the lines are parallel, consecutive interior angles are supplementary. Okay, so these are supplementary. Just keep that in mind. All of the others are congruent. All right, so keep that in mind while we do the rest of these problems. All right, so angle 6 and angle 8. Angle 6 and 8 All right, these are corresponding angles. All right, they're in the same position. So they should straight up be congruent to each other. All right, corresponding angles are congruent when the lines are parallel. So I'm just going to set them equal to each other. So 10x minus 6 should equal 6x plus 50. All right, subtract 6x from both sides. You're going to get 4x minus 6 is equal to 50. Add 6 to both sides. And you're going to get 4x is equal to 56. And then finally, when you divide by 4, you get 14. So x is equal to 14. Angle 2 and angle 3. All right, these are consecutive interior angles. That is one of the pairs that will be supplementary. All right, consecutive interior and linear pair. Those are the two that are supplementary given parallel lines. These arrows mean parallel. So supplementary. So that's why we will do 14x minus 12 plus 4x plus 3 is equal to 180. Now we got these like terms we have to deal with. All right, 14x and 4x are like terms, and then negative 12 and positive 3 are like terms. Combining those, we will have 18x minus 9 is equal to 180. Add 9 to both sides, you get 18x is equal to 189. Divide both sides by 18. And that's 10.5. Okay. Angle 5 and angle 7. These are once again corresponding angles. So they should straight up be congruent. They are equal to each other. So I'm just going to go 9x plus 4 equals 58. Subtract the 4 from both sides, and we get 9x is equal to 54. And of course, if we divide both sides by 9, we get x is equal to 6.